Hello everyone, welcome to Car Spotter Belgium. I am Thibaut and today we have the Opel Grandland. In this video I will tell you everything about this car. We will do a quick walk around, take a look at the inside, and later on we'll hop in for a drive. So let's go! So the version we have here today is the Grandland GSe, which is the most sportive and powerful version available. It has a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated petrol engine in the front, which delivers a maximum of 200 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque to the front wheels. And that's not all. GSe means Grand Sport Electric, so there is also an electric part about this car, and it consists of two electric engines. One is also at the front to drive the front wheels, and it delivers a maximum of 110 horsepower. At the back is the second electric engine, which delivers another 113 horsepower to the rear wheels. The maximum system power is 300 horsepower and 520 Newton meters of torque. The battery capacity is about 14.2 kilowatts and it can be recharged at a maximum speed of 3.3 kilowatts an hour on AC. Beside those crazy numbers, the GSe also looks a lot more sportive than the standard versions. It has a gloss black hood and roof, which gives it a beautiful effect in combination with this white color, so a bit yin and yang, to call it that way. And those accents are just so Opel if you look back to the history about this brand. And of course it needs to be complete package, so also the window frames and the mirrors, the logos on the front and the back, and below that also the small diffuser are painted in this gloss black color. The new Grandland has a complete new face, so these new headlights with the long black panel in between, and below that you have also this really sportive air intake, which is fake, but it looks very sportive. Overall, this design is very modern, but in some way it gives it a really big difference with the design they kept for the rear. Besides that, also the Grandland keeps the same dimensions. He's about 4.5 meters long, 1.9 meters wide and 1.6 meters high. And I think the flies are also liking the color because they sit everywhere. Let's take a look at the boot. It has a trunk capacity of 390 liters, which is less than the non-hybrid versions because they have a capacity of 510 liters, but it can be expanded by folding down the rear seats to a capacity of 1528 liters. So let's move on to the interior. This interior is called Alcantara Jet Black, and it is a combination of some black leather and Alcantara, which looks very nice. The seats itself are also AGR, and I hope I'm going to pronounce that correctly, but it means in German Aktion Gesunder Rücken, and that basically means that they are also certified by specialists for your back. In front of us we have two screens, so one behind the steering wheel and of course the main infotainment screen, but let's just dive a little bit deeper into this. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it does support Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and of course you can view a lot more about the statistics, about the battery and the car itself. But furthermore, there is nothing too special to talk about in this system. The apps that you would find on any other car are also supported on this system. And then behind the steering wheel, I've also talked about this in the Astra E, which we have reviewed recently. And I said there that this screen couldn't be changed. And I need to get my words back, because I finally found a button to change this menu, and I did not find it in the Astra E, but here it can be changed. So it kind of annoyed me that in the Astra E you couldn't look at the navigation or just something else to view, and this one does support that. So now we have the navigation and it can definitely be changed. Let's take a look in the back. I'm actually sitting here very comfortably, so my leg room is more than enough, and surprisingly the headroom is actually really good. So I'm 1.85 m, and this seat is also placed in my position, so I'm sitting here very comfortably. That is something to say. And furthermore, we see the same pattern on the back seats as we see in the front, so the nice Alcantara and leather. So I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about the interior and the exterior. Let's hop back in the driver's seat and take it for a drive. So how it's like to drive the Grandland GSe, and I really need to say I'm more surprised about the driving experience than anything else about this car. And it is just a really piece of art mechanic here, I really need to say that. So we are currently switched to electric, which of course means that we are driving fully electric, and it has one electric engine in the front of course, but also in the back, as I've mentioned. But it will mostly use its engine in the rear, and when you ask a lot of power, he will switch in the front engine as well, and that gives a little bit of a power boost. And or for most people it doesn't feel that pleasant, because when you have 110 horsepower in the back and you use it completely, it feels like he is also giving the full amount of power from the front engine also immediately, and that gives a little bit of a, you know what I mean, it is switching it in, and that gives a little bit of a faster acceleration immediately. But furthermore, it actually works really well. Also, when you hit it even more, he kicks in the petrol engine, and that of course has a bit of a delay, so you feel the push, and that is actually the thing about the Grandland GSe. So it has a lot of power, and that is just a really nice feeling. But of course you also want to have less consumption in a hybrid. That's probably the reason why you buy it. And its average consumption is about 4 liters when you use the battery capacity in a good way. So when you drive only on the petrol engine and you wouldn't use the electric engines, yeah, I would say 8 liters maybe. But most people, of course, with a hybrid engine, you use both. And when you can use the electric engine optimal, it will get between 3.5 to 4 liters. It has a battery capacity of 14.2 kilowatts, and you would be able to do between 50 and 55 kilometers electric. So when you would use the battery optimal, you wouldn't have any consumption, only electric, but I would say an average of 4 liters. So I guess this is everything I wanted to discuss with you about the Opel Grandland GSe. It is just a superb car with a lot of power, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more car reviews done by me in the future, then make sure to check out my channel and subscribe, of course, and then I hope to see you again next time. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.